Good morning. How's everybody this morning?
Good.
You all revved up for some great message, something wonderful, something life-changing.
Yes.
They're down the street. I like to start with a little joke. And three hikers were in thick woods and really struggling to get along, and they came upon a big river, and the river had rapids in it, and it was wide, and so they decided they would pray as to how they're going to get across this river. And so the first man prays, God, give me the strength to get across this river. And instantly he had these tremendous muscles in his arms and his legs, and he dove in and swam 2 hours and was across the river. Second man says, God, give me the strength and the tools to get across this river. And there was a boat. He got in. 2 hours later, he rowed across the river. Last one says, Lord, give me strength, give me the tools, and give me wisdom. Instantly, he was transformed into a woman. He looked at the map, walked up the bank 25 feet, and crossed on the bridge. I'm going to give you another joke today. This is your lucky day, 2 for 1. This man was on the beach and he found a bottle and rubbed the bottle, and the genie came out and said, you have 3 wishes. He says, I know that what I want $1 million in my bank account. Instantly. $1 million. He says, I want a red Ferrari. And there sat this red Ferrari. And he says, I want to be irresistible to women. And zap, he was the box of chocolates. Well, now that we've had our laughs, we can get down to business. Headquarters supplies us with lots of material, and this week was about community, about being together, and I decided that the motto from the Three Musketeers was good to express this: all for one and one for all. It's awesome when we really sit and think about the ideas that we receive and that we say, and how real are they for us. We just talked about peace, and everybody wants peace. They have meetings for peace. Well, a person could go to the meeting and they're all excited and go out on the freeway. Somebody cuts them off and they swear, and the news comes across and they give it a little hatred, a little anger, all these kinds of things. And then we say, why isn't there peace? It's with each one of us, and those are energy movers, because that's really all that we're doing, energy moving. Those are energy movies, and they're not taking us in the proper direction. We can only do that for self. If you are truly peace, then you have to maintain peace in all circumstances, in all activities. And that's a big demand, until you discover that that's the only way that you can have the future and you can have what you want. That song is not wrong. Let that peace begin with me. There's no other place for it to begin. And this is true of all things. Which dog are you feeding? You've all heard about that one. Black dog and the white dog. Which will grow? The one you feed. Why? And if you look around and analyze all that's going on, there's much stimulus for us to be way off the path of peace, way off the path of love. It's easy to love all of you here. We share the same ideas, we have the same desires. That's easy. But what about the fellow that just shot somebody? Or the crooks and criminals we have? I mean, wanting to prey on people for no reason. I mean, sabotaging your computer with, what are they going to get? They don't even know if that happens. But there's a lot of that going around. And so we have a challenge to maintain our life the way we want it. I think one of my favorite heroes in the Bible is Joseph, the one that his brothers threw him in the pit. I mean, he had trial after trial after trial. But he just was being Joseph no matter where he was or what was going on. He had a dream. God had inspired him with the dream. And when he shared it, it got him into a whole lot of trouble. But he didn't deviate from knowing that he was cared for, and eventually rose to being the second command in Egypt, a very powerful and influential person. We all have challenges in our life, and how we rise to those challenges determines our quality of life. We need community. I remember as a child, I grew up in a very small community, maybe 1,000 people. Of course, everybody knew everybody. I once stole an apple off the tree, and when I came home, my mother was waiting at the door for me and turned me right around, sent me back, and told me to apologize. So that was a good lesson. I said, wow, you better do the right thing, because somebody's always watching. Somebody's always in there doing those things. I want you to feel that intensity of mind that we are. Each of us here, this moment is powerful. Just close your eyes, sit there for a minute, and feel powerful. Could you do it? Do you feel powerful? Well, if you don't this time, do it again. That's what we have to do. We have to make these things real for us. And in order to make the planet and the future better, we are going to have to see that before we can achieve that. All through the Bible and other books, people have had their challenges, but they've also had their help, and they grow from that. They grow from those challenges into something wonderful and new. I feel so blessed to have discovered Dr. Ernest Holmes and his writings. I was what I called myself a closet metaphysician. I didn't let anybody else know that part of me. I sneak around and here's something good. I found the book about 6 years before I ever found a group. But that idea, the core idea, there is something greater than I am, and I can use it. Because growing up, I always wanted to know why. Why did this happen? Why was my brother crippled? What good did that do? What happened to this one and that one, and why? And then I began to learn that. And you know what I found out? Is everything that happens to you is absolutely necessary for your growth and unfoldment. Your life is a custom job. They have created the color and mixed them specifically for you. Now, to be able to understand that power and to use it, to recognize it. That's why it's good everybody comes up here and talks about a demonstration. That demonstration is wonderful, but it's revealing to us what we have accomplished within, what mind has brought us to. I love those kinds of things. And I've been on the path long enough, I get lots of them. The water softener is out. Ralph wanted to heard one on the radio, and one went, okay, well, when we're ready, we're ready. I got those nice tickets here, free to go to the Home and Garden Show, and lo and behold, there was the salesman for that very water conditioner that we had said we wanted to get. Just like that. Didn't have to look, didn't have to go anywhere, just there. And then I've been looking at the backyard. You know, it took a wrapping and a drought. There's not much out there. And I thought, well, I'd like to have some professional help. We've always just got plants and put them in willy-nilly. Lo and behold, there's Barron Brothers being represented at this place, having a special package, fit right into my budget. There it is. No effort, no need, no panic on my part. When we learn to live with nature. Ralph likes to watch the Alaskans people. These are people living off the grid, living a hard life in my estimation. And have to work all the time. I would bow out on that type of life. But they have this innate ability to go with the flow. Everything is dependent upon them, everything. And it's interesting to watch. I would never want to do that. I don't even know if I'd want to go visit. But it's sure interesting to see how they work. And they have a deep spiritual bond. And one of the things that I think is wonderful, they're sustaining themselves, so they have to hunt. When they kill an animal, they always bless it. They always thank it. Thank you for sacrificing for my good. You see, we are all one, animals, plants, everything. And as we bless things, they can feel that, they can grow with that. I once had a lipstick plant, and it grew nice tendrils and everything, but it didn't have any flowers. And that's what I got it for, was those flowers. They looked like little tubes of lipstick on the plant. So I said to the plant one day, you're here because I like the flowers that you produce, but you have not produced any flowers. So, well, it wasn't very long till here comes a tendril with a lipstick at the end. And I just realized, I said, oh, thank you, you are just fabulous, it's great, I praise this, I love the color, everything's just great. Well, you couldn't stop that plant. It had thousands of flowers, it had tendrils all over the place, it just went crazy. But you know, that's the way life is. Take anything and love it, and see it thriving, and bless it for thriving. And get involved emotionally. That's what I can do. I sit here and look at you, I can gaze at you, and I have an emotional involvement there as I see you and as you see me. And that's the oneness. That's where you feel that oneness. And, you know, I used to think, well, I can think this, I can think that, what does it matter? But it does matter, I've discovered. Our thoughts are so important, and where we move that energy is so, so important. And you are privileged to pick and choose and put your stamp of approval on anything. I'm one of the people that wanted the sanctuary painted. And so I don't remember which meeting it was, but I do remember it was a board meeting. And we like to put down what we're going to do and put a date on. And so I said to Pam, she says, we want to do this. And she was all enthused, that's good. And she said, I said, well, when? And she says, oh, by September. That's why it's here. That's why it's here now, because we said so. And whatever's in your life is there because you said so. If you don't like it, then you're saying the wrong things. You're looking at the wrong way. And unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know which, there's much that is, you gotta ignore and overlay. It's hard to look at what's really going on around and be happy about it. But what you do is take that idea, transmute it in your mind, because you have the right to believe that this life can be anything you want. I don't care what politicians are doing. I don't care what these people that are saying we're going to hell in a handbasket. I don't care what they have to say. But I care what I take from that. I cross it out. It was a woman who was just very wise and everything, living a nice life. And people would come to her and she'd hide them. And once they ask her, how do you heal? She says, well, when they tell me the story, I just say, "'Tain't so. 'Tain't so." Right? Your mind and your focus and what you see is going to replicate. And we need to counteract those that are seeing the ugliness in life. Those that are so unhappy, so disenfranchised. We need to see the world as we want it. I was listening to something on the news, I can't remember what, but you know, there's all these things going for women, and we gotta have tolerance, we gotta have all these things, and I thought, you know, we've come a long way. They were talking about something being polluted. There are lots of rivers and places that are no longer polluted because we've taken action. There's more to be done, but this particular incarnation, we're not just meant to sit on our duffs and let everybody else do it. And what's wonderful in my mind is that mind you can use always. Even if you can't do anything from a physical point. The origin is the mental. We create twice, once within mind and once within our physical existence. I ask you to be mindful of that as you go through your day and as you think, not only what are you thinking about, but what are you giving toward the next idea. As I move out of here, what will I be thinking? That everything is smooth, the life is smooth. That's why I use my affirmation time and time again. My life is unfolding perfectly, no matter what. My computer went out and I thought, there's someone no matter what if I've ever seen one. And so I immediately dealt with the emotions there. You know, I could say everything. Why me? All these things. And I thought, well, so what? I can survive anything. I can thrive on anything. I think the real key is to love yourself right here, right now, in this moment. You don't have to be anything more than you are. You don't have to be anything less. Just honor that you are. I am one. Not just with other humans, but with the animals, with the rivers, with all of life manifesting. Next time you write a check, think of all the people that have done things to arrive at that bill so you can write that check. How everything fits together. All the energy here as you're thinking. And if you get caught on a nice idea and you want to drop out and think about it, that's fine. I'm not going to talk too fast, so maybe you can get your ideas in between. But honor your own ability, your own desires in this world. I am saddened when I see young people say, I'll never be able to have things, or all these bad things. Somehow that is our future, and those little minds must be turned to the positive and know that they can create. They're a wonderful generation. They have all these tools. Just think anything you want to know, you'd say, hey Siri, what's that? That little voice. He hasn't been behaving too well lately, but isn't that fabulous? It's just mind-boggling that whatever you want. And that's the way we are in this moment. Everything is mine. I'm like Karen, I can't sing the blues because my life is just too wonderful. And the things that may be of a bothersome nature or on the negative side, then it's my job to really give a lot of energy to move that to the positive side. All of us here in the room having that one unity mind. Everything. In this moment, the powers that be are creating for each of us individually that which will move us along our path, that which will give us life and life abundant. We are indeed blessed. And let's top it off with the affirmation again, everybody together. My life is unfolding perfectly, no matter what. Thank you very much.